Hi Aquarius, and welcome to the Mother Tressa channel. If you're already familiar with this space and you're just returning in because you enjoyed the vibe, welcome back. Good to see you, glad to have you. And if you are new, welcome into this channel. Please come in as your most authentic self wherever you are energetically, be it positive, negative, or neutral. And leave better than you came, right? That is the goal. So I hope that you find the messages well, or that they find you well. And if they happen to resonate, then definitely do subscribe for more. I'm seeing a moth flying outside the window. A moth to the flame. You guys have the death card as the energy that you're feeling the heaviest. Transition for sure. Crossing you is the 8 of Wands. Look at that. Wow. That highly intense scorpionic energy. Everything is intense. Everything means something to you. You know what I mean? Like, you know how when you're having conversations with people and they'd be like, damn, like it's not that deep, but everything is that deep to you guys right now. And for many reasons, because you know that it cannot remain as it is or as it has been, be it a relationship, be it your profession and what you're doing on the career front and how you're contributing and how fulfilled you feel when doing that, like how satisfied you feel in your job, and the role that you play here. Not the death card, but Scorpios are the chameleons. You can literally morph into anything. So this is really potent, powerful energy that you definitely have to seize and take advantage of when you feel it, Aquarius. You can rapidly manifest things in your life. You can rapidly change your identity if you choose to. Like, niggas can't even get your thumbprint to read. You know what I'm saying? Like, you change your DNA. That's what a Scorpio can do. You go and get fingerprinted and they just don't even know who you are. You're a brand new person. Though on the outside you might look the same, internally things are totally different. You feel me? What's real about the situation? You guys have the Justice card upright, which is a nice change from Capricorn because theirs was in reverse. Check out that video. What's wrong about the situation? 6 of Swords. Where you need more information, Ace of Coins. And where you end, you have the Chariot energy, Cancer's card. Bottom of the deck is the 7 of Coins, and then the Hanged Man behind that. Couldn't help but see it. So, look, you're having an epiphany, or you're on your way to having an epiphany moment about this relationship that you've been in, or about this relationship that you've been calling in, and what it is that you are ready to experience here. Though there is some anxiety and or stress surrounding that, you know, like first day jitters whenever you start something new, that's what really comes through for me energetically whenever I see the 6 of Swords energy. It's kind of like the butterflies in the stomach type of feeling, because like now you know better, you have to be responsible enough and exercise that free will enough to do better and put a concentrated effort in the way that you navigate, you know, and the way that you coexist also. It can be pretty nerve-wracking, and so that's what I'm feeling. You guys feel that unease with knowing that a shift is occurring in your relationship. A shift is occurring just again as far as you are concerned, and the power that you possess, and just how passionate and how deeply you feel. Okay, but kind of as I was saying in Cancer's reading, look at that, making connections here. I brought up the fact that Cancers are extremely passionate beings. They can hold on to a lot of energy. They have like an infinite bank. Cancers rule like the ocean. You know what I mean? Like whenever you see the Moon card, that's like all the water that exists. Nobody knows what is at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? It can go far and deep down. So again, they have that pool and that reserve of emotional energy that comes through and feels like very passionate and very heated, you know, and dynamic and enthusiastic type of energy here. But that enthusiasm can be negative if it's always averted to or directed at things that upset the Cancer. You know what I mean? Like their passion they become obsessed with the problem and the issue and just focusing on that instead of really using that passion and developing that passion and putting it into like a medium, like an art form, or turning it into a product that can help other people if it's such a thorn, on your side. So it's trying to turn that and make it to where other people don't have to feel the same way that you feel about it, whatever it may be. Here, I feel like you guys are really coming to understand humanity, human nature, and psychology and sciences. Like those things appeal to you, if not death altogether, and how much of a regenerative process that is altogether, especially because you don't have to physically die in order to go through a death process. It's any life transition that happens when you go from being like a preteen into your young adult and adolescent life, and so things change with that. Like your voice changes, your body changes, you go through puberty, you know what I'm saying? That's a death in itself, going from your innocence to now being responsible for the urges that you feel, and how again you take control of and how you guide your sacral chakra and your solar plexus at that time. You know what I mean? When you go from being single and never knowing like what a relationship feels like and or how to be in a relationship to having your first kiss or your first boyfriend, and then going through the emotions that brings up for you, and the changes that occur and the lessons that you learn in that relationship, especially when it doesn't work out, and going through your first heartbreak. That's another death. And going from just having you and your person that you're in a relationship with, and then elevating that or ascending that relationship and proposing, and then so you guys go through marriage, that's a death in itself. And then having children and learning how to take care of and nurture a being that's going to be completely dependent on you for their survival for the first few years. You know what I'm saying? It's always going through those different transitions. And so that's really appealing to you at the time. Like all the ones that you have been through and all the states of existence that you still have yet to go through, right? And to have. It's really interesting to you at this time. You guys are really looking at all the good and bad that has transpired, is what I'm hearing, over your lifespan thus far. Looking into developing a deeper meaning and leaving more of a mark on those whose path you happen to cross, or who happens to come into your energy, which came through, I believe, in Scorpio's reading. So check that out as well. Telling you can be dealing with a Scorpio, somebody with heavy Cancer placements, a Libra, or these are just all within your own chart here. But you want to leave a mark on the world. You're interested in immortalizing yourself in some way, or immortalizing the relationship by way of proposing, right? You come in with this offer, or you're starting to think about it. You're getting ready to make a statement in that way, okay? And so you might be talking with friends and family, or that's what's going on behind your back here, because you see their backs are really part of the foreground in this depiction. So you know that there's about to be a change in your relationship, Aquarius. And for those of you that have been dating this person, the change is that they are talking to friends and family, getting the blessing from your father or your mother, whoever's been in your life, has the most influence in your life, really talking to them and really trying to set up something special to make that proposal and to make that statement. Again, you guys have this. The Hanged Man is like that enlightenment, that period of enlightenment and moving into the next phase, and knowing that you will never be the same once you make this move, right? Once you make this decision or this choice, because the Seven of Coins is all about choices. But also, you're coming to understand also mistakes and how much of an integral part they play in your overall life. Okay? And then the satisfaction that you have in life. Because the mistakes do nothing but teach you about your worth and how much self-worth you have. You know, how self-conscious you might be feeling about a certain thing, or insecure you may be feeling about a certain thing, or how much of an attachment you form to certain things, and how you can hoard energy also with this Ace of Coins and the Seven of Coins that is here, and come off as being more greedy. So it can play either way, and it's just teaching you how to better adjust, you know, making those proper and necessary adjustments to be a better person overall. You know, again, that's helping you through that metamorphosis process, because you cannot stay as you are. Things cannot remain as they are. Nothing can. There has to be a certain level of chaos and disorder also in life, just naturally. Think about the different states of entropy, and just how atoms and particles all together bounce and move. They don't move in a straight line unless you are directly looking at the object, you know what I'm saying? And then there's more of an organized form and structure there. But when you take your eyes off of it and you're no longer concerned with it, it just dissolves, and it's everywhere. It always is. So for those of you that have that obsession with death, is understanding like your energy is not going anywhere, because we're just bags of carbon. Bags of carbon. What is that? We are just bags of carbon. You know what I mean? This is just a hard shell. If you think about a crab, you know, crustaceans or whatever you have you, like, this is just a shell. This is nothing. This is the host that we are using to be able to move through this dimension, you know, this reality. We need to look exactly as we do. But once this body gets tired and it has to die, you know, all things rise and fall, then you understand that the bag of carbon that you are, when you take that final breath, you know, and you exhale, you go back into the ether, and you can decide to be something else, or you can decide to go somewhere else. Some of you guys, you are coming to the end of your life, and you're making that choice, that decision, that once you do pass over, you don't intend to come back to this plane, you know, because you've done all that you could here. Okay, you've affected people in all the right ways. You've made amends if necessary. If you haven't, you're coming to that point where you're doing those proper apologies, or having those conversations, and closing up or tying up those loose ends, just to make sure that you don't go in transition with a heavy heart, you know, because this is the balancing of the scales, where your heart is weighed against the feather. And you really were supposed to live a life and come to a point where you were able to let go or lay down those burdens and be at peace with everything, you know, and everyone. So that is what's coming up on the table for you guys. But you're making that choice of not wanting to come here, but instead wanting to build new earth, or being a part of that process and being more behind the scenes, being like an ascended master, if you will, because this is the number 7. 5 and 7 can speak to ascended masters and just self-mastery in certain ways, and in certain relationships, and or with certain connections that you make, becoming masterful in those things, and what it is that you could be studying, if this just has to do with furthering your education, or really figuring out what your skills are, what your latent abilities are that are really coming up at this time, and that you're really going to have to develop and rely on when we go into this new year, right? This chariot year, 2020, which is coming up for us, okay? And what that means, going into the shadow and making peace with our shadow selves, and then breaking free, you know, like a phoenix rises from the ashes, and coming out completely, entirely different people, going into this new year with completely and entirely different insights and outlooks. But just how durable and just how determined you will have to be in this new season, and how discerning you're going to have to be, because it's going to be tricky. You will be tested at this time with these energies and these different light bodies, and different people that can be coming in to like trigger you here, or how they're going to try to distract you. So that's what's coming up for you guys. If this reading resonated, give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends and family, subscribe if you haven't, and book with me should you need to. But if I don't hear from you, then please just do take care of yourself and your soul until you hear from me again. Ciao.